Record. All right. Well, good evening, everyone. Welcome. For those of you who don't know me, I'm Sally, and today we will actually get started in a seated posture. So allow yourself to just get comfortable. And if it's comfortable, sit cross-legged, but then switch the cross of your legs so it's the awkward cross. If you prefer butterfly, you can definitely choose that. Relax your shoulders, relax your hands, close your eyes, and we'll just take a few deep breaths here. So start to feel your body settle. And from your belly button down, you want to feel your body grounded, connected to the earth. And from your belly button up, you want to feel this lifting, this lengthening. Feel the deep, full breath in and out through your nose. And we'll take about 3 more breaths here in stillness. And then we'll add a little bit of movement. You can keep your eyes closed, you can have them open. Take your hands onto your knees and we'll just go through a seated cat-cow. So with your inhale, pull your heart forward, squeeze your shoulders to your back, and if it feels good, lift your gaze. And as you exhale, round through your spine, press your shoulders back, tuck your chin to your chest. And then we'll just flow with our breath. Inhale, lift your heart, and exhale, round. Just feel your breath guide your movements. We'll take about 3 more breaths here. And when your 3 breaths are complete, we'll just come back to center. You need to give your shoulders a little shake, and we'll make our way into tabletop. And so you can roll over your feet and come up onto your hands and knees, or you can swing your feet to the side. And we'll take a few moments and flow through a few more cat-cow. We'll spend some time on our wrists here for a moment. So add a little bit of a wrist stretch as you flow. And so just move with your breath. Spin your fingers towards the long edges. And then keep spinning them till they point as close to your knees as it's available. As you change your hands, you might change your movement. You might rock front to back, side to side. You can take the back of your hands on your mat. And we'll take about 3 more breaths here. And after your 3 breaths, we'll meet back in this neutral tabletop. And we'll start to activate. So press your hands into the earth, engage your shoulders, engage your core. Extend your right hand forward and your left leg back, and then lift through that belly button. Take a deep breath in. With your exhale, we'll open our right arm to the right and our left leg to the left. And then with your inhale, reach your arm front and your leg back, and exhale, open to the side. And we'll just flow with our breath for 3, 2, 1 more breath. We'll pause with our leg and arm extended out. You can take your hand back to the earth. See if you can lift your foot higher, your toes farther forward. We'll add little pulses, just lifting up through this leg. For 3, 2, 1 more breath. Reach your left leg back. Come back to center, and then just wiggle out your hips and take a nice deep breath. If you need to flow through some cat-cow, go for it. But thankfully, we have 2 sides. So we'll start to activate our bodies. We'll press our hands into the earth. Engage our core. Left hand forward, right leg back. Lifting up through your belly button, your hips are level. Take a deep breath in. Exhale, left hand to the left, right leg to the right. Inhale, reach your arm forward, leg back. And exhale, open to the sides. And then just flow with your breath. Feel this nice opening, your core is engaged to stabilize. We'll take one more breath, and then we'll meet with our arms and legs extended out. If you'd like, you can set your hands back down. We'll keep our leg lifted. See if you can lift it higher, pull your toes forward, and then add those little pulses. For 3, 2, one more breath. Reach your leg back. Set your knee down, give your hips a little wiggle. So from here, we'll get a little bit into our core on our way to downward dog. So spread your fingers wide, activate your shoulders. We want to press into the tops of our feet, so all of our toenails, and we want to press equally into the big toe edge as the pinky toe edge so that our ankles are active. So press into your hands, the tops of your feet, use your core. We'll lift our knees so they just hover. Keep pressing into the tops of those big toe mounds so your ankles stay in line, and then we'll slowly keep lifting our hips up, and eventually we'll just roll right over our feet and come up to downward dog. And we'll take a nice deep breath here in downward dog. You can bend one knee as you press opposite heel to the earth. And just feel this nice stretch through the backside of your body. One more breath here. And as you exhale, step or lightly hop towards the top. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Press into your feet. Inhale, rise up, mountain. Sweep your arms up. Exhale, fold. Inhale, halfway lift. With your exhale, plant your hands, step back, high plank, pause, breathe. So we'll work on that roll over our toes. So inhale, shift forward. Exhale, lower, halfway, low plank. Pause for a moment here, and then pull your heart forward, roll over your feet as you pull your chest forward, upward dog. And then use your core, lift your hips, roll over your feet, downward dog. And take a deep breath. With your exhale, step or hop to the top. Halfway lift. Fold forward. Inhale, rise. Exhale, fold. Halfway lift. Plant your hands and then flow with your breath. So that high to low plank. Upward dog. And back to downward dog. And we'll just pause in our downward dog for a nice deep breath. Let's take one more breath. And as you exhale, step or hop towards the top. Halfway lift. Fold forward. Bend your knees, sink your hips, and as you inhale, come up for chair. So squeeze those inner thighs together. Connect to those lower abdominals. Pull those hip bones together to lift up through your heart center. And then see if you can sink just a little deeper. And breathe. Two more breaths, sink just a little deeper. One more. And as you exhale, fold forward. Inhale, halfway lift. We'll plant our hands and we'll just set up for a nice little crow. So if you know where you're going, you can just go right into crow. Spread your palms, knees wide, hips high, feet together. Rest your shins on your triceps, look forward, and then start to shift forward until your feet start to become light. Take about 3 to 5 breaths wherever you are. If you're working on your hot back, thinking about that lifting up through your hips. So whenever you're ready, you can hop, step, or flow back to downward dog. And then breathe. And then press your palms into the earth, activate your shoulders, engage your core. And as you inhale, lift your right leg up to the sky. Your hips are level, your core is engaged. Let's lift our heel a little higher. And as you exhale, right knee to right elbow and pause. So shift your shoulders over your wrist, keep lifting up through this knee and breathe. Take one more breath. With your inhale, slowly press back. Exhale, knee to nose. I mean, who doesn't want to have fun with planks? Take a breath. Inhale, slowly press back. Exhale, knee to left elbow. Thankful we have two. Keep lifting, breathing. One more breath. With your inhale, slowly press back. Exhale, knee towards right elbow, pausing for just a moment, almost complete. And then from here, as softly as you can, step your right foot all the way up to the top of your mat. Our left heel will be lifted. We'll keep our hands on the earth for just a moment. Pausing here in this runner's lunge. Sink your hips nice and deep and then activate your legs. Use your core and we'll slowly come up for crescent lunge. Arms reach up. This left leg is strong and powerful. And then slow your breath down. So we have a little fun flow. So you can keep your hands in the air or you can take your hands to your hips at any time, whatever serves your body better. So let's take a nice deep breath in. And then as you exhale, we'll bend through this left knee so it just hovers. Pause. Press your hips forward as you're here. You should be feeling this through your hip flexor and then feel your core engage, that spine stays long. See if you can keep this right leg in this lunge. And as you inhale, we'll just straighten that left leg. Exhale, lower. Inhale, straighten. And we'll just add this nice little movement, pressing into our right heel, activating our glutes, and then just slow your breath down, slow your movements down. For 3, 2, 1 more breath. Pause in your crescent lunge. If your hands are on your hips, they can come back up to the sky. We'll ground into our front foot, our right foot, soften our toes. Gently press off your left foot. We'll come up into a warrior 3, reaching our heel back. But if you need to take your hands to your heart center or your hips, please do. Level through those hips. Activate this left leg, and then we'll add movement. We'll add little pulses, lifting this left heel, getting into that glute. And breathe. For 3, 2, 1 more breath, just pause. We'll keep this left leg lifted and bring it forward. Lift our left knee forward, arms come back up. So can you lift your chest a little higher, lift your knee a little higher, and then we'll straighten our leg forward and hold and breathe. Keep lifting through your heart, lift your chest. 2 more breaths, keep lifting. 1 more. Bend your left knee, left hand to knee, right hand to hip. If you prefer your yogi grip and extend your foot forward, you are more than welcome to do so. We'll slowly open our left knee to the left and take our right hand to the right and breathe. You can shift your gaze if you would prefer. Two more breaths. 1 more. We'll slowly bring our right or left knee back to center. Arms come back up. Lift your knee, straighten your leg. Take a breath. With this leg straight, flex your toes. We'll slowly hinge this foot. Keep reaching it. Soften through our right knee, engage our core. Take our hands to the earth. Standing splits and breathe. So you can keep both of your hands on the earth. You can take one or both hands to your right ankle. Notice if that left hip is popping up. Keep that internal rotation. So those inner thighs are active. And then just connect with that beautiful breath. Keep lifting that leg higher. You can hold here, or if you'd like to move into handstand hops, plant your palms, shoulders over wrists, Our left leg will stay straight and it'll just reach up. The movement will be through this bending and pressing off this right leg. Take about 3 to 5 breaths wherever you are, and then we'll make our way back to downward dog. And just notice the differences between each side. Reconnect with that beautiful breath. And then as you inhale, shift forward, high plank. Exhale, low plank. Inhale, back to high plank. And exhale to downward dog. That was just a little bonus for fun. Press your palms, engage your core, activate your shoulders. As you inhale, lift your left leg up. Level out your hips. Take one more breath here. Lift your heel higher. And as you exhale, left knee to left elbow and hold. And breathe. So pressing down to lift up, lift through your chest, your hips, your knee. Let's take one more breath. And with your inhale, slowly press back. Exhale, knee to nose, and pause, and breathe. Oh, planks are just the best thing ever. Take a breath. With your inhale, slowly press back. Exhale, knee to right elbow. Always thankful for both elbows. And breathe. One more breath. With your inhale, slowly press back. Exhale, knee towards left elbow. Just pause for a moment. And then as softly as you can, step your foot up. Your right heel is lifted. Your hands stay on the earth for just a moment. We want to get nice and deep and then activate. So we're in this really beautiful lunge, but our legs are active. And use your core, slowly come up. Crescent lunge, arms reach up. Feel this lengthening through your spine. Sink your hips just a little deeper. And then just breathe. So add that fun flow. So again, if you prefer hands at hips, please know that that is more than welcome. Let's take a deep breath in. As you exhale, bend your right knee, sink. So it's just hovering, pause. Feel this pressing of your hips forward. So you start to feel this space in this hip flexor. And that'll help lengthen out that low back. With your inhale, slowly straighten your right leg. And exhale, sink it down. And then just flow with your breath. For 3, 2, 1 more. We'll pause in our crescent lunge. If your arms are elsewhere, you can reach them back up. Start to feel the weight of your body grounding into your left foot. Your toes are soft. We'll press off our right foot into our warrior 3. Again, your hands can be at your heart center, your hips, it doesn't matter. Level out your hips, so activate those inner thighs, and then add those pulses to that right leg, activating that glute. Just keep breathing. Take one more breath, pause, and then we'll slowly come up. Right knee comes forward, arms sweep up. Lift through that chest, lift your right knee, and then straighten your right leg out front. And breathe. Keep lifting through that heart center, lift your leg. Take a deep breath. Can you lift a little higher? One more breath. Bend your knee, right hand to knee, left hand to hip. You can take your yogi grip and extend your foot forward if you prefer. We'll open our right leg to the right. You can extend your left hand to the left. And you can shift your gaze either direction if you prefer. Slow your breath down. We'll take 2 more breaths. 1 more. Right knee comes back to center, arms reach up, lift through that knee, straighten that leg, take a breath. With that leg straight, we'll start to sweep it slowly, hinging back, softening through that left knee, and then taking your hands to the earth, standing splits. Activate those inner thighs so your hips are level. You can keep both hands on the earth. You can take one or both hands to your left ankle, but keep lifting that right leg higher and breathe. You can choose to stay in your standing splits. If you would prefer to go into those handstand hops, plant your palms, shoulders over wrists. Your right leg stays straight, and this movement is through this pressing of that left leg. Wherever you are, we'll take about 3 to 5 breaths, and then we'll make our way back to downward dog. And take your time, connect with your breath. And then just notice how each side feels different. Let's take a deep breath. And then as you inhale, shift forward, high plank. Exhale, low plank. Inhale, back to high plank. And back to downward dog. Take a deep breath. And as you exhale, step or hop towards the top. Halfway lift. Fold forward. Bend your knees, sink your hips, and inhale back to chair. Oh, it's just always such a good pose to be in. So start to feel those inner thighs, those glutes, that core activate. Can you sink a little deeper? We'll take our hands together, heart center. As you inhale, lengthen. Engage your core and slowly twist to the right. So feel this lengthening of your spine, and then twist a little deeper with every breath. Pull your left knee back with the strength of your core so your knees are parallel. And just breathe. Two more breaths. Can you sink a little deeper? One more breath. Open your chest a little further. Inhale, we'll slowly come back to chair. And just breathe. Starting to feel really nice. And then hands come together. At your heart center, inhale, lengthen. Use your core, twist to the left. Lengthen through your spine and keep twisting. And breathe. Sink your hips a little deeper. Two more breaths. One more. And as you inhale, we'll come back up to chair. This will be our final chair pose, so take a breath. And as you exhale, fold forward. Heel toe your feet hip distance width apart. We'll take our yogi grip. So our peace fingers around our big toes, palms face each other. Inhale, lengthen through your spine. Soften through your knees. Your chest should be on your thighs. And as you exhale, fold forward. Let your elbows fall open. And then straighten your legs as much as you can with your thighs and your chest together. And breathe. So we'll take two more breaths. Let your head be heavy. One more. We'll keep our yogi grip, but we'll inhale, lift halfway up. If you would like a little bit of additional support, you can take your left hand to the earth just slightly in front and to the side of your left foot. Otherwise, you can keep your yogi grip. We'll shift the weight of our body into our left foot, and then we'll lift our right leg open to the right and breathe. For 3, 2, 1 more breath, and gently release. Give your hips a little wiggle. We don't have much time, so thankfully we just get to go right into the second side. So we'll start to shift the weight of our body into that right foot. If you need your hand as a support, please take it. And then lifting your left leg up to the left. And breathe. For 3, 2, 1 more breath. And gently release your foot. Walk, just give your legs a little shake. We'll inhale, lift halfway up. Plant your hands high to low plank. Inhale, upward dog. And exhale, downward dog. And take a breath. Let's take 1 more breath. From here, we'll hop to the top, take a seat, roll onto our backs. We'll set up for bridge. So our feet are about hip distance width apart. Our hands are on the earth, palms down beside our hips. Activate those inner thighs. Connect to those lower abdominals, those hip bones pull together. And then with your inhale, press into your hands, your feet, and we'll lift our hips up for bridge and breathe. So keep those legs powerful. Press into the heels. You'll feel your hamstrings, your glutes start to activate. Two more breaths. One more. As you exhale, slowly release your hips back down, and then with your inhale, we'll just go right back up. So it's just a little tap down. And then breathe. Continue to feel your legs powerful. We'll take 2 breaths here. One more. Same thing with your exhale, release your hips down, and inhale, lift back up. So if wheel feels good in your practice, you can move into a wheel. You would take your hands beside your ears, fingers point towards your shoulders, and see if you can press up into wheel right from your bridge. We'll take 2 more breaths wherever we are. If you're in wheel, when you come down, you'll tap your head and lift back up. We'll take 1 more breath. If you're in bridge, we'll tap our hips and then lift back up. And we'll be back up in bridge or wheel, whatever you need. And breathe. Keep pressing down to lift up. We'll take 3 more breaths here. On your next exhale, we'll slowly release. And then we'll inhale, lift up 1 final time. That's it. You got this. Just keep breathing. For 3, 2, 1 more breath. Slowly release your hips, engage your core, keep your feet on the earth, and we'll go into a butterfly. And take a nice deep breath. 1 more breath here. We'll lift our knees up to the sky, engage your core, and then lift your feet up. Your knees can be bent, but we want our toes active. We'll get into our core. So you can choose what you need. You can take your hands beside your hips. You might need to support under your hips. You might keep your feet in the air. You might lower one leg towards the earth and then lift. You might lower both legs at the same time. You might just have little movements right at the top, just connecting with that core. So if you feel anything in your low back, then your core is no longer doing the work. So find a spot where there's no pressure through that low back. And then breathe. For 5, 4, 3, we had to at least have an extra 3, 3, 2, One more so you feel equal on both sides. And then use your core, hug your knees into your chest. And we'll just add a little movement. You can rock from side to side. You can make circles. When you're ready, we'll rock and roll up and down our spine a few times. Cross our ankles, roll over our feet. And we'll hop or step into a high plank. And we'll just pause in our high plank, making sure we've released any sensation through that low back, and breathe. If you want to add a little bit of a fun flow, you can do push-ups. It's optional. For 3, 2, 1 more breath, and then lift your hips up, downward dog, and take a nice deep breath. Let's inhale, lift our right leg up to the sky. And as you exhale, right knee to right elbow, and pause. Can you do too many planks in a sequence? I don't think so. Let's take 2 breaths here, slow, steady breath. 1 more breath. As softly as you can, step your right foot to the outside of your right hand. We'll drop our left knee and we'll start to set up for lizard. So you can walk your knee back. If you want to just go into lizard and hold it as a hip stretch, you can. If you want to go into more of a flying pose, you could go into a flying lizard. So you keep your toes at 12 o'clock. You can let your knee fall open 45. You can come down onto your forearms and you can just soften into it. If you want to work on the flying version, with both of your hands on the inside, your right hand comes behind and to the outside of your right foot. You plant your hands shoulder distance apart. The trick is to keep walking your right foot so the top of your foot reaches back, and then you shift forward and lift your left leg up. And just breathe wherever you are, whatever you've chosen. If you would like to add your back leg at any time, that is also an option. So slow your breath down. And let's take about 5 breaths here. So slow, steady breath. In and out through your nose. Two more breaths. 1 more. If your back leg is lifted, you can release it. We'll come back up onto our hands. Shift your hips back slightly, and then we'll set up for our version of the split. So walk your right foot to the middle of your mat. So your hands are on either side, and then walk it as far forward as you can. Whatever feels available. Once you're as deep as you can go, if you want a little bit more sensation, you can lengthen and then fold over that right leg. And breathe. So slow your breath down. The best way to get deeper in this pose is to use our breath and to soften into it. So take about 3 more breaths, your own 3 breaths, 3 to 5. If you want to stay for 5, this is a lovely pose. When you feel complete, we'll make our way back to downward dog, and you can flow or just press back. And then just allow yourself to reconnect with your breath. Once you arrive into your downward dog, just take a moment to walk out any sensations and just slow your breath down. Then as you inhale, let's lift our left leg up to the sky, because thankfully we have 2 sides. And exhale, knee to elbow, and just pause. And just feel this connection with your breath. Pressing down to lift up, 2 more breaths. 1 more. And then softly as you can, step your left foot up, drop your right knee. You can walk your right leg back. You can keep your left foot at 12 o'clock. You can spin it out. You can let your knee fall out. You can come down onto your forearms. If you want to try your flying lizard on this side I'm not so good at, so I'll just walk you through. So left hand is in inside, backwards, outside. Plant your palms, walk your foot back, get into those low plank arms, and then your right leg reaches up. And breathe. If you just want to relax into this magnificent hip stretch, you can choose that. If you want to add your back leg at any time, you can also choose that. And then wherever you are, just breathe and feel this connection with your breath. Slow it down. Feel your body just soften and surrender a little deeper. We'll take about 5 breaths here. So take your time, connect with your breath. And whenever your 5 breaths are complete, then we'll start to make our way into our version of the splits. And so whenever you're ready, you can, if your back leg is lifted, you can release it. You can come back up onto your hand, shifting your hips back, walk that left foot to the middle, and then as far forward as you can. And what's great about this pose is it is a very lovely stretch, but you get to choose how deep you want to go. And if it's too much, just shorten your stance. If you want to get deeper, then lengthen it. And then just be okay with whatever it is that your body needs and breathe. And then can you soften and surrender and sink just a little deeper with every breath you take? So letting go of that desire to force your body deeper and allowing your body to soften. Gravity will naturally push you deeper. Soften and surrender with that breath. And take about 5 more breaths here on this side. Take your time, connect with that beautiful breath. And whenever you're complete, we'll meet back in downward dog. And just notice the differences, the similarities between each side, what you feel, what you think, how much you love working on the splits. And then just take a moment, walk out, wiggle out, just release any sensations and just breathe. We'll take a breath or two in our downward dog, just letting go of any lingering sensations. And then when you're ready, we'll hop to the top, take a seat, and we'll make our way onto our backs. And we'll hug our knees into our chest. And just give yourself a beautiful hug. You can be still, you can rock from side to side. We'll keep our right knee hugged in and we'll extend our left leg down our mat. And if it's available, you can interlace your hands around your knee or your thigh. And we'll take wind relieving pose. Now, some of you might desire more sensation, so you could take this right leg into a half happy baby if you want a little bit more sensation. And then just breathe here. Feel your body held and supported by the earth and notice how simple it is to breathe in this pose. We'll take one more breath, and then from here, we'll go into a twist. So your left hand can come to the outside of your knee. If you want to extend your foot, your right arm can come out to the side. We'll pull our right leg across to the left. You can take your arm in any position of the clock. That is a nice stretch to your shoulders, and take your legs in any way that feels good. Then slow your breath down in this beautiful twist. Feel your body sink a little deeper with every breath you take. Take 3 more breaths, your own 3 breaths. And when you're complete, we'll come back to center. Before you come back to center, engage your core. And if you want to support your low back, hug your right knee into your chest. And through the hugging of your right knee, come back to center. Then we'll just take a nice deep breath. You might want to hug both of your knees in. You might stretch both of your legs out. And you might just switch and go right into your left side. But eventually we'll meet on our left side. You can be in your wind relieving pose or that half happy baby if you prefer. And then just breathe. Let's take one more breath and then we'll go into our twist. Pulling that left knee across to the right. Allow yourself to go on that same journey you went on the other side. We'll take 3 more breaths here. Slow your breath down. Just savor these last 3 breaths here. When you're complete, use your core to come back. If you want to support your body, hug your left knee in. And through the hugging of that knee, come back to center. You can take a moment. We'll hug our knees in one final time. If it feels good, you can lift your forehead to your knees. And then we'll just take one more pose and we'll set up for fish. So we'll extend our feet down our mat. We'll press our palms into the earth, lift up onto our forearms, lift through that heart center, and then relax your head back. If the crown of your head reaches the earth, you can extend your arms forward at a 45-degree angle and you can lift your legs at that same angle. And we'll take about 3 breaths here. So slow your breath down. Just feel this beautiful opening. And when your breath is complete, tuck your chin, lie flat on your back, and we'll go right into Shavasana. So once you make your way onto your back, take your feet nice and wide. Hands will be at your sides, palms up. Soften your shoulders down your back. Close your eyes, let go of your breath, and feel your body surrender. And just settle right into stillness. Notice any areas of tension that you can start to soften and let go of. Feeling overwhelmed is a trap. Feeling overwhelmed is a trap, a tricky one at that. When we're overwhelmed, we see all that needs to be done and say, that's too much. I can't do it, so instead, I shall do nothing. Feeling overwhelmed occurs when we say, I'm already too busy, so I can't do that, and now all is pressing on me, and I can't do anything. And the acts that are ours to do keep piling up and pulling on us, and we keep resisting, and stress and pressures build up. Feeling overwhelmed leads to feeling stuck, and both are an illusion. How simple those things that overwhelm us actually become when we release the feeling and return to the rhythms of our lives. When we say, yes, I need to make that call, do that task, how simple the task becomes. How simple life becomes. What's bothering you that needs to be done? What's pulling on you? What's causing you to feel overwhelmed and maybe stuck too? Make a list, put your list aside, and begin by taking one simple action. Then watch as life unfolds, one act at a time, one thing at a time. All that needs to be done will get done. The stress will disappear, and you'll feel back on track. You'll be given the ability, power, and guidance to do all that is on your path to do. Begin simply, quietly, by acknowledging feeling overwhelmed. Denying the pull of life and its task doesn't remove stress, it compounds it. And start to wiggle your fingers and your toes. Roll your head from side to side. Reach your arms overhead, stretch your body, deepen your breath. And when you feel ready, bend your knees and gently roll to your side. And press yourself up to a seated posture, eyes closed, hands together at your heart center. Take a deep breath. Surrendering to the simple truth, even the simple truth of what we're really feeling, will always set us free. Smile. Namaste.